Hello everyone and welcome to my Forza Motorsport 6 Apex gameplay video. I am going to be bringing you some Forza gameplay, specifically on the PC beta. If you don't know, Apex is the Forza game coming out for PC. It's been basically amped up, 4K, ultra details at the wazoo, cars look pretty, the ground looks pretty, generally the game's just been done up for PC basically. Which is pretty nice. Now I do have to apologise, I'm not sure if this is just on my end or if it's on everyone's end, but the frame rate in the video, I'm not sure if it's jumping about or not. I'm really not sure. If it is, I do apologise, it might give you a headache, but the game was running completely fine for me when I was playing it, so I don't know what's going on. It might be how I've recorded it or whatever, but when I was playing it, performance is definitely a key issue that I do want to talk about, and there isn't any issues. Performance is very, very smooth, and I say this to someone that played the Gears of War remaster type thing, whatever they decide to call that in the end, Ultimate Edition or whatever. That was a game that came out that had a lot of issues. It had a lot of frame rate drops, people couldn't connect to each other's games and all that. Not a problem here. And I really am glad that they brought out a beta especially for this game, so we now know, hey, the game's going to be final launch whenever it does come out. And that's good, because well, we don't need another Gears of War scenario now, do we? In relevance to the DX12 games, I have to say it's probably one of the best performing, purely because it looks absolutely fantastic, and from what I can see, it's actually really easy on resources. So I checked my CPU usage. When I was playing, I think I hit around 20%. GPU was maxed out as always, and which is now 20%. That's a really good figure. To give you a comparison, Black Ops 3, a game which doesn't really have much going for it at the moment, hits easily 70-60% on an i7-6700K, which simply should not be the issue. Which simply just shouldn't happen at all. End of. So there's that. So DX12 definitely an improvement from what I'm seeing just with this gameplay. You can see here that I am driving a Chevrolet, I believe it is, big old muscle car, swinging it around corners, etc, crashing into cars as I do. I tried this game with most of the assists off. I forgot to turn off the braking one for this, so you're going to see me brake and not mean it, but yeah, you get what happens. I do prefer Forza without assists, purely because I feel like all you're doing is holding in right trigger and then turning round in circles. That's all it is. I prefer the game to be a bit more advanced, but I do have one major issue with the game, and that's the handling. I feel like every car goes around the corner in the exact same way, if I'm honest with you. Just to relate, I've started doing some driving lessons, and I've noticed that when you're driving a car, it does not react the same way as it does in video games. Like, I thought it might be a little bit similar, like, if that makes sense. You turn the wheel and the car turns around, but in this, every car just feels really heavy, and it's not like the wheel's being turned the full way. Like, if I was doing this right now, 8 miles an hour, and I'd turn the wheel, I'd go left. That doesn't happen in this game. So to round it all up, the basic thing I think in this game is wrong is that the handling and generally maps that are quite wet. So I'm going to switch now to a bit of gameplay where I'm driving around that wet circuit, and the most that I believe happens is that, yeah, the tiles get a bit more slippery, but that's generally about it. I mean, it's not really wet conditions or anything, it's if anything a bit easier to drift. That's about it. I mean, if I'm going around 100, I don't know, 50 miles an hour around the corner when it's soaking wet, I'm sort of expecting there to be a bit of a difference, but there really isn't. I don't think the rain adds that much. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I don't know. I just think that in general, handling in this game isn't the best. I mean, I don't know if it's been like that for every single Forza game. As I said, the only games I've really played was Gran Turismo 4, so this is pretty much a new person coming into a new genre of games, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really like it. I think it's probably worth the play if you're into racing games. I don't think it would be worth a $49.99 release, as most games coming out these days are priced, and I think there generally has to be a bit more work in the handling section. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a good game, but personally, I don't think it's probably right for me. And I haven't really been into racing games that much. I mean, I would like a proper racing simulator game with like the wheel and the pedals and the gear changer and all that sort of stuff. But I genuinely don't think that these games provide the real car experience. I mean, Forza does quote itself on being like the ultimate driving simulator, and I just can't see it with this game. Having currently doing lessons in a car, I don't think it does what it says it does. So anyway, let's move on to customization. It's a big thing that I like to do with cars, customise them, make their engines all nice and pretty and whatever else. Currently, from what I've seen, you can only customise the paint. Probably not very good, but they do have a lot of colour schemes, which are pretty nice. You can choose from the manufacturer's colours from what those cars actually come in, special colours that developers have put in, and just normal black, white, yellow, gold. There's a million of them on it, so there's tons of colours. So if you want a pink car, you can have a pink car. If you want a blue car, you can have a blue car. It's up to you. I think the developers have done a pretty decent job with exterior customization, meaning colours. You can put shapes, symbols, whatever on it. Same with the Xbox version, I'm pretty sure. And really, all they have to really work on is car customization, the internals. Again, I'm not entirely sure if this game is going to come with it. A bit more research probably is done into that, but generally, as the game is now, I haven't seen any place for me to get a car and customise it, so I'm going to presume it isn't there. So let's move on to the maps. They have a lot of great stadiums. I've been currently doing some championships, which are pretty good. There was on one map that I did turn off every single assist, go out and immediately crash into a wall. Those assists do help you, they really do. And some of the maps are pretty tricky, but one thing I don't like is the fact that in order to pass this championship, the one that you're seeing now, you have to get third, rank 3 in it, or whatever it is. You have to pass in third, and then you have to go up to 160 miles an hour. But that isn't possible with the car that I am using, or I will smash into a wall, or I will not brake in time, and I will not go around that corner, and I will skid off, or I will spin out, or anything like that. What I've noticed is that the car that they give you, you can't actually complete the race with that car, because it's either way too slow, has bad handling, or the rest of the cars are faster than you. So when I was going along the straight at one point, every car was just zooming past me, and I'm like, how am I meant to work against this? Like, the game has purposely been set up so I don't win. Just food for thought, I believe that you do have to unlock the cars early, if you don't get all the medals, that is. However, the cars do cost 59 pence to unlock it early. Now, I've said this before and I'll say this again, in-game microtransactions to unlock stuff early is okay in certain senses, but not okay in the sense that it's a racing game and you're going to be competing with your friends and they can just buy the fastest car in the game and then beat you. Well, I don't agree with that. I mean, yeah, you can go back and you can get all the medals, but you can't go back and get all the medals if you don't have the fastest car in the game, which you can just buy to unlock. So, if you see my point, I don't agree with microtransactions in a Forza game, especially with the competition around it, and especially with the fact that all cars on the track are not the same as you. So if you were to buy a faster car, you would win the game. For me, it looks like it's pay to win. Just saying. Could be wrong, but from my general view on the game, what I've played, the fact that you can buy cars and the fact that it's a competition-based game, it's pay to win. And I think I will wrap it up here. If I do have gameplay left to play on, I'll let it play on so you can watch all my mistakes and crashes and whatever else. So thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy this Forza gameplay, then let me know. Put a comment on it. Put a like on it. Hit subscribe. Do whatever you need to. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.